Just waiting here for you. I just want your presence. You got me feeling blue. Don't keep me waiting. Don't leave me in this way. Got me going crazy and I don't wanna wait. I just wanna make you see. I feel like I'm in heaven when you are here with me. Don't keep me waiting. Don't leave me in this way. Got me going crazy and I don't wanna wait. I just want your loving. Come and give me something. I just want your loving.
can turn off the light too.
There we go.
No, you're good.
Then you'll get full effect.
Rose got it.
Here comes 2.
Hi, I'm Eric.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Chris.
And we're I Beat It First. Yay!
Yay! Should have forgot my beer.
Jason forgot his crack. I didn't, though. I got mine going.
I was crack-a-lacking.
No, you were lacking Kraken.
I could go for some Kraken actually right now. Some good ass rum.
It is surprisingly less sugar than you find in fucking Fireball.
It's delicious too. I'll drink Kraken. I like rum, but I don't like just having rum. Like I wouldn't just be like, yo, give me a shot of rum, or give me some rum neat or on the rocks. That's not. I mean, I don't know anyone that does that. But Kraken, I'll do that with. That
21-year-old rum, the
$150
bottle of rum that I had. Whoo! That shit was
at that point it's not
good.
Rum anymore. That's more like a not a cordial. I wouldn't even say that's like you're paying for the aging more than what it is. I mean,
yes.
You'd be like,
just like with Scotch.
Yeah, but like at that age it could be anything. You'd be like milk. You'd be like, it's yogurt. That's the way they should do it. They should advertise yogurt like that.
Yeah, but see, it's
22 years.
Oh God. Oh. That's cheese at that point. That's actually
cheese.
Yeah, that's what they should call. That's what they should call it. Yeah, it's just barrel-aged milk. And what is it? It's just a giant fucking block of cheese.
That's right. Dude,
I don't know why Rose is vomiting in our chat right now.
Are you kidding me? That's cheese.
It's just cheese.
Cheese is delicious.
Cheese is old milk.
The curdles. People specifically pay to eat the curdles, bros.
That's true.
That's what people do.
I deep fry those curds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I eat them with some marinara sauce and some ranch. It hurts your mouth.
Give me them curds in my mouth.
Oh, I thought you said it hurt your mouth. I'm like, what?
It hurts my mouth because they're so hot and fried, and I'm just like cramming in my face fast as I chew, and it's just like.
No, Jason, it hurts your tum tum and your booty.
It does. Curds are okay. If you put some butter on that and all that just like that.
Curds are okay. The lactose is all out.
Yeah,
the lactose
is all part of it.
I guess the whey I guess would contain all of the lactose in it. So, fun fact, everybody: Jason can eat cheese without having problems with dairy. But you based a shit ton of butter on that pizza crust, though.
butter and ice cream. I won't do it. I can't do it. Like the worst is when I eat artichokes because I like them with butter instead of mayonnaise because I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Goat's cheese, chat, is amazing. I'll eat goat's cheese like no problem. I don't know if it does affect me or not, but I'll do it anyway.
That's a good question. Hang on. Does goat's milk contain lactose? It auto-filled it for me. Goat's milk does not contain lactose, and it has almost as much. Wait. Does contain lactose and has almost as much as cow's milk. Damn it.
Okay, there you go. I was
symptoms of lactose intolerance differ from person to person. The most common symptoms are gas, diarrhea, abdominal cramping or discomfort, and generalized abdominal pain.
I don't get the abdominal pain because I just get the gas and I just let that shit fly.
If you hold it in, that's where the abdominal pain comes in. So that's like women when they're like. They hold it in. They're like, I can't fart. They don't even fart when they're going to the bathroom. I don't know how they do that. And then miraculously, it all disappears at night, and they don't know what's going on. It's because they fart in their sleep.
This is the best opening to a podcast.
It is, isn't it?
Right? I'm enjoying every aspect of this.
That's what we call a warm open, everybody.
Nah.
Oh man, that was horrible.
Amazing. We are children. We are very much.
We are children, and isn't it great?
Video game podcast. I'm so psyched.
Adults can't do a video game podcast. You got to be a child. Let's be honest.
This is true.
Yes.
This is also true. So we're typecast, and we're gonna do it. This is what you want.
I've been typecast for years. I don't know what the problem is. All right.
Been told I look like I'm 15 since I was 15.
You did not look like you were 15 when you were 15.
This is true. This is also true.
You also didn't look like you were 15 when you were 19. You looked like you were 12.
This is also very true. All right, so.
All right, what are we drinking?
Benjamin? I don't know. I'll go first. I have a bunch of cool ass beers from Colorado. My parents just drove through Colorado. They stopped at like every brewery on the way through. It felt like as they were sending me pictures, making me jealous. Part of the reason why I'm gonna go do that trip myself here soon. But they got me a few beers. One's called Avalanche Amber Ale from Breckenridge Brewery. And it's a deep amber ale. It's actually very, very tasty. We're sitting at about 5% alcohol in this bad boy.
If only Jason could go deep with his voice when he said that. Deep.
Why? Then it sounds stupid.
Because that would have been funnier. You're like, it's a deep amber ale.
It's a deep imperial amber ale. I also have Senorita Horchata Imperial Porter, which I'm kind of excited about. This one is from I don't even know the name of this. Elevation Brewing Company.
Elevation's got good beer.
Yeah, they do. So I've never had the Senorita Horchata Imperial Porter. A lot of good names, a lot of good parts to that name. Horchata in a porter sounds very interesting to me. I will do that. And then I have
Elevation is in Durango.
Well, if that's true, that'll be amazing because driving through there.
Poncha Springs. Where's Poncha Springs at though? Because that's
the
first place that I had Elevation was when I was in Durango. That's why I thought that it was. Oh, it's actually not too far from Durango. It's like halfway between Durango and Denver.
Even better.
It's in the mountains still.
I'm gonna try it.
So we'll take it.
And then I have a couple fingers of Glenlivet just to round it all out.
Glenlivet. What about some old fashioned?
I didn't buy any of the old fashioned because I haven't gone anywhere to even buy any. I have this Glenlivet I've had forever.
I assumed that you didn't have old fashioned because you already drank your first bottle of it, and it's like gone.
I didn't say that. That's not what did happen, but I am very excited. I'm taking that with me whenever I go anywhere because that stuff. That sounds so good. Yeah,
it is pretty good.
Chris, you bought some too, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll use that as a segue. What are you drinking right now?
So I got some State 48 Sound of Freedom Mosaic Hopped IPA.
Okay. State 48 is pretty good.
7%.
That one's good. It's 7%, really?
Yeah.
That's what we were drinking at ZapCon. I didn't realize that was 7%. What else you got?
That's it.
That's it, because he drank all of his.
6 of that.
Yeah, he drank all of his.
I think I still got some left, but I got the message regarding when I was before I grabbed a cuts. I want the old fashioned.
Nice.
See, I like old fashions more than Manhattans. That's why when I got my second bottle, I still went with old fashioned.
Well, then maybe I'll go with the Manhattan because I do like a good Manhattan. And you add a little charcoal to a Manhattan drink, make a black Manhattan, and they just look and taste so amazing because of the red cherry at the very bottom.
Because we've never had enough charcoal ever.
We haven't.
Oh man! So I've got my.
What is wrong with my poop? Oh yeah. We had charcoal last night.
I think I have a major medical issue. Oh wait, never mind.
I am bleeding internally.
I've also got an Oso Brewery Boom Dynamite Grapefruit Mango IPA, which is 7%. So, yay! And this one I haven't tasted it yet. Hang on, let's go ahead and taste this.
Boom Dynamite's okay. It's too fruity in my opinion.
Actually, this doesn't taste too fruity. Even with the mango, I would have thought that the mango would have. I think that the grapefruit really cuts it and kind of makes it taste more like an IPA. Like you get that woodsy taste. You know what I mean? From an IPA. It's not bad. It's pretty good. It's not
I do
usually
enjoy
my
the
first
fact
choice.
that both of you Yeah, I do enjoy the fact that both of you have local brews. That's fun.
Yup.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you gotta have local brew.
Well, I mean, like straight up local. Like the only thing that would have been more local is if I was drinking some Hess too. Then we would have been like, hey,
yeah,
Arizona trifecta type thing.
Yeah, actually, and they're all down here. So yeah, they would have. Yeah, they all would have been Phoenix. So that would have been nice. All right. Okay. So we've talked about pooping.
Back to poop and lactose. Yeah.
We've talked about tummy troubles. We've talked about alcohol, which 100% never gives anyone tummy troubles. I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody ever has tummy troubles after drinking too much alcohol. So I guess
Never have I ever had tummy troubles.
Oh. Guess I gotta drink. We are not playing Never Have I Ever on this podcast. Or are we?
Dude, maybe we can reserve that for a special episode of something coming up here soon.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Food for thought. Or drinks for thought. I don't know.
Or poop for thought.
Or poop for shit for thinking.
Shit to literally think about.
Yes.
All right. So let's go ahead and get to news so that, we're not 30 minutes into the podcast before we actually start the news segment.
Video game podcast.
All right. So we'll start with big-ish news. I mean, it's not like really like that big. But today is Spider-Man Day. That's right. It is 8/1 when we are recording this podcast. And we are live on Twitch. And it is Spider-Man Day. And what's really funny about it is that Spider-Man is now officially older than most of the Aunt Mays in the series. Like, amazing. As they're portrayed. He is 60 years old.
In the movie series.
No, in general, like, because Aunt May's not always old in the comic books either. She's older, but she's not always like geriatric. Like the original Sam Raimi ones and like the Spider-Man like animated series in the 90s, like that was geriatric Aunt May, but she's not always like geriatric. So that one was interesting. I was like, wow, that's a weird little tidbit of information to kind of like bring in. So happy birthday, Spider-Man. I don't know.
Happy birthday, Spider-Man, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess.
Yes.
Okay, now in actual big news. AMD has finally debuted its version of RTX Voice, which is big for streamers. So, like, as we've talked about before, people, if you stream, we always recommend an NVIDIA. It's like realistically, if you're playing games, spend your money on a graphics card and that's it. Like, we don't care. But if you're gonna stream, you want to do an NVIDIA because of NVIDIA Broadcast, which was formerly RTX Voice, just audio only. So it's still better to get NVIDIA Broadcast and use an NVIDIA graphics card, because without it, you can't do weird things like change your background completely on the fly, work with a virtual green screen. As people on Twitch are saying, I'm sitting in a black abyss right now. But they have at least now done what NVIDIA released 3.5 years ago. Is that right? God, has it been that long since Chris first tested NVIDIA?
I think it's been
or
that
RTX
long.
Voice. Shit, I bet it has. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. What was the release date for RTX Voice? No, wait, maybe it hasn't been.
April of 2022 or 2020.
Is that what I'm saying? April 20. That's what I saw. April 16th, 2020. Almost 2.5 years. So 2.5 years. But that's just like when they update. I don't know if that's an updated or what for that, because NVIDIA Broadcast has been out for a while.
Yeah.
NVIDIA Broadcast has been out NVIDIA Broadcast has been out for almost 2 years. So that can't be right. That can't be right. None of that can be right. We're all dummies. Yeah, September 2nd, 2020. Okay, September 2nd, 2020 is when NVIDIA Broadcast came out, so it's almost 2 years ago. So RTX Voice has been out a lot longer than that. So, yeah, I think it's been about 3 to 3.5 years since RTX Voice first came out. Which, I mean, good for AMD for finally catching up. Their graphics cards, performance-wise, are really good, so I'm not going to, like, complain about that. But it took them too fucking long to get that because they've lost out on a lot of people that do streaming. The only reason that a lot of streamers have AMD graphics cards is because they couldn't get NVIDIA graphics cards and they needed to upgrade their rigs at the time. But
they got to start somewhere, and that's a good way for them to get back in the market share so that people continue to use it, and then they'll be like, hey, you know what? I'm okay having it now instead of dreading it or being sad that I don't have it. And, you know,
we've got some people in chat that I know have AMD graphics cards, and it's like, finally, it's like now you don't have to do all the weird shit with noise gates and stuff like that. And noise gates work. Don't argue with me about noise gates working and blah, blah, blah. But they're not as good as utilizing an AI-based system because the noise gates will prevent your voice from being picked up sometimes too. And that's not what you want. You want something that knows what your voice sounds like, will do your voice, but then not hear everything. So good job, AMD, finally getting that out. That's awesome. They did also increase their performance with OpenGL processing by 92%, which is pretty big. That's a pretty sizable increase for just a graphics card driver. So kudos to them. Good job, AMD. Keep up the good work because we like competition in the marketplace. Unlike apparently Intel, who their Arc A380 cards bombed hard.
So bad. Like they don't even like talking about them. They're like, nah, we didn't release anything. It's just like, yes, you did.
So the headline that I wrote is Intel Arc A380 cards are proving that making the chips was the least of Intel's problems. So before, it was like making a chip, and they couldn't get a graphics chip that would actually work and whatnot. However, now they apparently don't know how to make drivers. Or even support their graphics cards. Because, man, hearing the horror stories, like, people are basically like, yeah, it's basically like, I got a card, and I have to make my own driver to go with it. That's how bad the driver is. So, it's a little brutal.
I'm sure it's annoying to the 5 streamers that they gave those cards to for free.
But even, like, test people. So, that was the thing, is that there were, like, testers that were like, well, I want to be able to test it, but I can't get it to work. So now I got to make it work so that I can test it. So, Intel, get your shit together. Yes. Put it in a backpack.
Or just focus on one thing and just get back to making shit good. Like one way. Just focus again.
I do like the fact that if this goes in the direction that it's going to go, then this will bolster their integrated graphics a lot more, which is what we want as well. But we do also want additional people in the video card market.
I'm not saying get out of the market completely. I'm saying focus again. It's kind of like what AMD did, like, 6 years ago, and they're just like, fuck it, we need to like get our processors back in like the game. Because right now we're stumbling along, and everyone understands AMD is like second rate. Well, we don't want to do that anymore, so they kind of focused hardcore on their processors, and they got their procs up really good. I mean, I have one right now too, and I love the shit out of it. But at the same time, they did let their graphics card and support for that stall. If they can do the same thing though with AMD, then they're gonna have 2 fantastic products. Right now, Intel's just covering the basis of meh. And it's just like, well, that's not how you're gonna get anywhere. Yes, you have market saturation. I guess that's good. But if you just want to be the gateway computers of the world, then so be it. Stop playing in the big boys thing and get out of the way, but then it's going to be a problem because we don't have competition.
That's hilarious because gateway computers for a long time were only running AMD processors.
Exactly. See what I did?
That's perfect. I love it. For those of you
like
in there
for a long time too. Yeah.
For those of you in chat that are unfortunately extremely way too young, Gateway is a computer company that monikered everything with cow patterns. Yeah. That's right. They basically took that like old Windows desktop God damn it, people probably don't understand that one too. Of a green field, and then they just added a cow pattern on with it too.
What do you mean XP? What version of Windows was that? It was Windows XP. But what version? Like 5? 6?
It was the experience.
It was XP.
It was the experience. It was Windows Experience.
Extra power. That's what version it was.
It's the dumbest name possible for what is actually one of the best versions of Windows that was out there.
Was it only like 4 or 5 years ago that it finally was surpassed by Windows 10 or whatever? As
far as installations? Yeah, because Windows 7 and Windows 8 never surpassed it. And that was because Microsoft finally said, fuck you guys, we're ending complete support. And not only ending support, we're not even going to fix like vulnerabilities. You need to just drop it. But they kind of fucked themselves a little bit because XP was the basis of a lot of their integrated system on chip setups that they had for like point of sale systems. So they kind of fucked themselves by elongating that process because they had to keep patching vulnerabilities once PCI compliancy like got like really, really big. I think I think I threw out way too many like acronyms and names for people to
good old POS.
Follow.
Good old POS.
Piece of shit point of sale.
The best is always having to explain PCI compliancy to people. Thank God I don't have to do that for my job anymore because nobody takes credit cards where I work with that. So I'm like, I don't have to explain what PCI compliancy is. This is fucking amazing. But explaining PCI compliancy to a franchisee that keeps all of his credit cards in a notebook, that was fun. I worked with somebody that I went to high school and middle school with, and she said that was the only time in our life that she had ever seen visible panic and like anger on my face because I was trying to figure that. I was trying to figure out how best to not murder him and also get him to burn that book.
Dude, it's bad everywhere. Like I remember hearing a news story, this was a couple years ago now, but that a doctor passed away and he had no next of kin or anything like that. So the practice went abandoned. And when they went in there to finally like clear it out and stuff like that, there were file cabinets of everyone's data, including all of his clientele's social security information, because obviously when you go to a doctor you provide that information, right? So yeah, it's just stuff like that. I usually if I go to a doctor, quick tip, when I usually go to a doctor and they make you write out your actual social security number or anything, I say ask me for it write it out in the number things. I've never been asked for it.
Ever?
Ever.
That's a good little
insurance card. Because my insurance card, they take that and they send that on off, and that gets verified through them. That's all they care about is getting their money. I don't write anything. I don't write my social down ever on a thing. Just say, ask me for it. In the little spot for it, they never look at it. They never see it. They never ask me for it.
That is a good little hack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they do, sure, I'll give it to you. No
but
problem.
that's a good little life hack, everybody. There you go. Yep. Jason spitting out wisdom, everyone. And if you want to learn
my specialty,
if you want to learn about PCI compliancy, hit me up on Discord and I can explain PCI compliancy to a fucking T to you. All right, sticking with video cards, why not? Let's go ahead and do it. It's kind of video card news. GeForce Now can officially broadcast at 120 frames per second on Android devices, provided that your phone can support it. Like my phone, I think does 96 frames per second. I think is what it runs at, so it doesn't run 120 hertz. But hey, that works, and that's really good, actually. I think that is a big step up, especially for compression, because that's the biggest thing for anything is the actual compression. What are you trying to do, Jason? Leave the cat alone. Oh, it's the dog.
It's the dog. She's like,
I thought that was your Star Wars pillow and your cat was laying on it because but I thought that the couch was part of the cat.
She never goes on the couch like this, so I was just like, what the hell? So that's why I turned off.
Is Abby sick?
No.
Are you feeling okay, Abby?
She's bored. I think she's bored.
Where's mommy?
He wants to be on the podcast.
Painting.
Mommy's not gonna pay attention to her. That makes sense. But yeah, so that's very big for compression. and very big for just cloud gaming in general. So that's awesome. Good job, NVIDIA. Keep up the good work. Okay, in more recent news, Bungie over the weekend had to disable Destiny 2 in-game chat because people found a way to exploit it to crash other people's games.
Just underscore console, isn't it?
No,
CMD.
No, they just caught. All they had to do, they found out that all you had to do was copy paste just a shit ton of text into someone's chat, and the chat would crash the game.
Amazing, even better.
Yeah,
even fucking. You could literally DDoS anybody.
Yeah, you could just do it. All you had to do was like get a PDF of War and Peace and copy and paste the fucking thing chapter by chapter in there, and boom.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah.
From a troll perspective, I love that.
So that, but that didn't just happen in PvP. People were doing it in Fireteam, like matchmaking and stuff like that for strikes as well. So yeah, that was a big problem. Even though like Reddit and everything was like telling people like just get rid of your in-game chat. One, you should have in-game chat turned off because who the fuck uses in-game chat for anything? That's the reason why. That's the reason why LOL had to turn off theirs, because it's too fucking toxic, all the time, 100%, always too toxic. And second, like that. So fuck it. Who cares? Don't use in-game chat. Yeah, good old Bungie. I mean, at least they jumped on the problem. It's not a true fix, but it's fix adjacent. So that's okay.
We're just gonna put some Flex Seal in this. It'll be
pretty much. Yeah, that's about it. It's just Flex Seal. Like yeah, that works.
Right. I will take that over a lot of things that don't get fixed up as well.
But yeah, and sure, we know somebody that worked with people that did that stuff, but they've moved on to greener pastures. All right, let's see here. Microsoft has shown off that they're going to further gamify Forza Motorsport practice, which is actually kind of cool. So the practice setups that they have, they're gonna start doing additional challenges where like you get ranked and you have like a score-based system for like corners and cornering, and you can actually run through the tests in the practice system and get ranked in real time online and see how you do against everybody else. Which, while you might say like that's kind of bullshit, that's actually a really good way to judge where you need to be in cornering. Mm-hmm. So it lets you know like how good you are or how deficient you are and whether or not you need to practice more at it and get good. Because like you could feel that you're good at cornering, but then still be losing races and have no idea why. And then you could see like, oh shit, I suck at cornering. That's the problem. Yep. So I can't wait for them to actually like do this for more things. I think that'll be really big. No one else has any other thoughts on that?
I don't, because I don't care. No.
I was waiting for Chris.
Don't give a shit.
It was actually Chris that I was waiting to chime in on because usually you start talking about Forza and he's like, oh yeah, man, fucking Forza, yeah.
Cars and shit, man.
All right.
Drink some motor oil.
Or just beer that looks like motor oil.
Yeah. Really dark stout.
All right. In local news? Yeah, sure. We'll call this local news. TSMC, Taiwan semiconductor manufacturer, has completed their Phoenix facility, which is a big fucking fab facility, in just over a year of construction.
Held together with hopes and dreams.
Spit and duct tape, and held together with spit and duct tape. I'm pretty sure it's actually probably gonna stand up. I mean, it's not like we don't have to worry about hurricanes and earthquakes and shit like that here. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't need to be structurally sound, but they knew how fast they had to build this fucking thing up because of the fact that they need fabrication They need extra fabrication, and they need fabrication here in the States.
And they need it now because Taiwan is right behind on their heels, man. Taiwan Semiconductor is making their giant ass thing out in, what is it, Jomex? No, not Jomex. Daisy Mountain area, whatever it is. And it's going to be like, they're going to soak up all the jobs. They're making like a full-on community out there.
That's the one.
This is not the, this is the one that's like not on Daisy Mountain. This is the one that's on, it's still north of Scottsdale, but it's not up that far up. This is not the big one. This is not the one that's just like massive.
I don't know. It looks pretty fucking massive.
I mean, it's big. They're all big.
That's what she said. But yeah, this is gonna be that's big for them. Oh, look at that! We're getting raided. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Twisted, with a party of 20. Welcome in, everybody. We are doing our video game podcast, so welcome in Twisted's crew. Unfortunately, shoutouts only work in chat. They don't do it on the Twitch overlay because we can't have random stuff going through the podcast while we're talking. But welcome in, everybody. Sit back, grab some alcohol. Let's talk about Vidimo games.
Cheers.
Top some video games. Yeah. Prost.
Oh, speaking of video games, let's talk politics, shall we? No, we'll hold politics for later. There is actually like a pretty big political one that's on here.
God. Stop.
Nope, not going to stop. I could have fit it in with the video card stuff, but I didn't.
I see on the notes, and I don't want to. It's
Too bad.
Funny, though. We need to.
We have to.
It's funny.
We have to talk about it.
I hate it. I hate it so much. No, move on instead.
Yes. No, we will talk about good news, and because Twisted plays this game a lot, this will be news that is important to him. Minecraft has completely banned the blockchain from their system, which is good news. They've basically like come to a whole agreement. They're like, this goes completely against everything that Minecraft is about, everything that Mojang was founded upon, all of that, and it will like they're just like it's never gonna come here. Granted. 5 years from now, when the almighty dollar kicks in again, that might change. They just fire everybody that's currently in it. But at the same point, they've at least said that it's not coming in. So anywhere in the near future, $40 is $40, Chris. That's all I'm saying. Yes. Sorry, we are communicating with chat, and $40 is $40. I will punch someone in the face for $40.
I'm spry.
Get your Venmo going, Kara.
You know what? We got our 24-hour stream coming up for Child's Play. I think we have a first.
Oh, we'll be doing slaps again.
Yeah,
we'll be doing slaps. We'll be doing slaps.
We hit each other hard last time.
Yeah, we did.
we need to like temper it. We need to be like
100%
slap down to like 10% slap, and you can have like different areas in between. That's what we really need to do.
Damn, Twisted's cheap. You're a cheap date, Twisted. Says, give me a Taco Bell taco and a Baja Blast, and he'll do it. Now, maybe a Crunchwrap
Baja
Supreme.
Blast you in the face.
Not just a taco. Yeah, a Baja Blast in the face. Oh, gosh. Going back to Microsoft news, I guess we're still technically on Microsoft news with Minecraft. Discord chat is now available on Xbox consoles. If you have an Xbox One, I probably wouldn't recommend doing it. It might blow up on you. But if you have a series, you should do it. Or actually, the newer Xbox ones probably handle it better than like the OG launch day ones that look like a giant Betamax. I would highly recommend not installing it on that one. But you can do Discord chat directly through an Xbox, which is cool. I have not used the interface because I don't have an Xbox. And I'm not buying an Xbox. But hopefully it's nice and easy for everybody. I haven't looked at anything and seen how it goes. Let's see here.
I think it's progressive, though. I mean, that's good on them.
Oh, it is. It is. I actually thought that that Sony was going to be first. Given that I did too. Like Microsoft like tried to buy Discord and they said no. Yeah. And Sony invested all that money, and I totally thought it was going to be Sony first. But Microsoft beat them to it. Hey, at least Microsoft's not bitter about not getting their buyout approved. Yeah. So that's a plus right there. Sticking with additional Microsoft news, Phil Spencer has publicly said that he can't wait to play a PlayStation game.
Good. Which one?
Yeah.
Which one do you think? God of War Ragnarok, yeah. And that's the same thing as like we've talked about like Doug Bowser playing Xbox and PlayStation games. Like they all play each other's games, partially because they want to watch or they want to play the games and test them out, and partially because they need to make sure that they're keeping up with the Joneses there. But excited to play God of War Ragnarok. Probably mad that he can never have that game because it's by PlayStation. It's not like some other developer that he can purchase. Stealing Santa Monica away from Sony would take a lot of money. Yeah. I don't think he'll ever buy Sony. One, because I don't think they'll sell to him. Two, it would never get approved by the Japanese regulators.
It would never get approved, yeah.
They will not approve of an American company buying that massive of a Japanese company. Same thing with Nintendo. Like, we've joked about Microsoft buying Nintendo because they can do it, but there's no way that regulatory commissions would ever allow Nintendo to be purchased by Microsoft. All right.
I'm happy for it. I mean, they should easily be. I mean, like it's such a '90s trope to be like, oh, I only play Mario games because I'm the CEO of Nintendo. It's like, no, you fucking don't. You definitely play Sonic. I see it in your background. You're playing fucking Sonic. Get over it. And it's just
there's
like
a little blue bird looping around things.
I mean, it sounds so stupid to say, but game recognizes game, and I mean it in like video games. So it's just like look at your shit and look at your competition. Like I in my personal life, I have a bunch of stuff with competitors and stuff like that just to see how it is and make sure that like I'm not falling too far behind or that I understand what I'm doing or like
or that you know just how far ahead you are than them.
Exactly. So I mean, it's kind of like, of course everyone's playing it. And if something takes off like crazy, like that's how you learn. That's how you can like pivot and adjust real fast. If you have your head in your own ass playing your own shit and being like, oh, my stuff doesn't stink, then you're gonna be like, well, Nintendo.
God, fucking Nintendo. I mean, they really need to get their shit together. Yeah. Like, we still haven't even seen the next Switch or whatever it is that they're gonna do. I have a feeling it's still gonna be a handheld since they already merged everything together and they see the future of gaming as a handheld. But I don't know.
It has to like the Switch is a good proof of concept in my opinion, because we've already discussed this about computers in the future in the first place. Like, you're not going to have this giant tower in the next probably 10 years or so. You're just going to have like your phone or whatever else you have that you're just going to have a dock. You throw it into, and it'll be able to do all your stuff on your screens, wherever you want, into your VR, whatever that you're going to be putting it on, you know, that you can then be able to have your full immersive experience, but then you can have it in portable mode. Totally get that. Now, the thing that's missing though from the Switch is the power. You know, that's why I say proof of concept, because they got it down. You know, that's really cool. Because I mean, anyone that says that they don't think that that's a great idea. Like, if you could just take your PC, the Steam Deck, let's just say, and you could be like, I'm playing all my PC games or my PlayStation games right here in my face in the toilet, and now I'm going to do everything else that I want on the TV, my computer screens, whatever, without any change in the quality whatsoever. And they say I don't like that. You're full of shit. That's what everyone. That's the dream, people. That's the dream. Is. If I can go from toilet to airport to toilet to hotel room and never stop playing games, then fantastic.
That's the one thing that the Switch has over the Steam Deck, is that the Steam Deck doesn't allow you to hook up to an external display. It's only your poop video game console, whereas the Switch is your poop and video game console. And also, as long as you clean it well enough and you can put it into your living room, set it down in the dock, and play on the TV. The thing that's been the most annoying though is that they have never once updated the processors to have more power, and they're out there because this is just a chipset that's made by NVIDIA. And NVIDIA already had a newer chipset out when they released the Switch, but they've never increased the power. And they didn't need to go to 4K because the handheld capabilities, 720p is perfectly fine for that small screen right in your face. You don't need 1080p. Like, the pixel rate or the pixel Gosh, dang it. Yeah, density. Thank you. I'm like, the pixel density on that is way too small for the human eye to really pick up on. Now you can say like, oh, phones, they've got high resolution. Yeah, you don't really see any of that, and it's not necessary for the Switch. But what they needed was performance increase, and not even just increasing the graphics capacity, just run faster. And they gave you better battery life at one point, but they've never increased the actual performance, and that's all that they ever had to do.
Yeah, I've completely forgotten that load times are a thing that exist, except for when I play my Switch. Then
you haven't played an Xbox?
Painfully reminded. All my stuff's on Game Pass, which but yeah, painfully reminded. Anytime I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to go on the Animal Crossing. I have like 5 minutes to spare. Oh, good, I can watch my load screen.
Now, yes, the series processor or the series consoles are faster than the Xbox ones, but man, those Xbox ones were dog slow. Even like the better versions of them, they were slow as shit. But that brings us to the next thing, in which case Microsoft has actually increased their or decreased their boot times, and now they're closer to PlayStation 5 and Switch Power Run. So even though the Switch like sucks dog shit at booting up a game, it boots up the console really fast. But they have now decreased the boot time of a series console from 9 seconds to 4 seconds, which is good. That's a solid improvement. They've decreased it by 50%.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It's huge. So that's really, really good. And Microsoft has been notorious for having the shittiest firmware and the shitty, even though people are like, oh no, the Microsoft operating system runs smoothly, like visually and laid out. Sure, it lays out really well, but man, they run slow as dog shit. It is bad.
It took me 3 days working on our website to optimize our homepage to load up faster. 3 days. I was sitting there going through it all, reading all the code. I'm not like some code whiz or anything like that, but I know enough to get myself in trouble, going through all the Java, CSS bullshit like that. 3 days running through all of my different tests and all that jazz to try to figure it out, to find out that I had in our fucking top left-hand corner of our website is our logo. We have our giant logo that's on the main website, and that's all optimized and jazz like that. But for whatever fucking dumbass reason, I had our tiny, tiny logo up in our top left-hand corner, I'm talking barely less than half an inch size, loaded in at full uncompressed VDI file.
Wait, whoa.
It was just full.
Wait. Was it the print-ready version of it?
Oh yeah.
The version that we can print a 30-foot banner on?
It was 20 megs, so however big the
oh no, that's not that one. That's close though. That's half.
It was gargantuan. I mean, typical imagery on a website should be less than less than a meg is what you typically want. You want it to be quick and fast. And I was loading at the very beginning of our website 20 megs of data right up front just to load a fucking little miniature icon. And I sat there looking at this bullshit forever trying to find this thing. Finally, when I went into the theme settings, it was just hey, you have this as your icon. I was just what image is this? Clicked on it, it's just and I was just Jesus.
And yes, I do have a version. I have a non-vector version because unfortunately our logo cannot be completely vector because of the wings. And if you look at our logo, it's a bunch of video game fucking guns and weaponry and stuff like that, and we don't have vector images of those. They don't make them. So they are really, really high res setups, and that thing can print to a 30-foot banner if I want to. That's how large I made the original thing, so that I knew that we were not encumbered at all. And then apparently that bit Jason in the ass.
Yeah. Well, because I used it probably for testing. Knowing my dumbass, I was just I'll use this testing, see how good it looks. And then I was just oh, it's good, and I moved.
Yeah, because you were probably testing the resizing capabilities and stuff like that of the new site.
Well, it's part of the kernel of the theme. This is why. It wasn't even in my code. It was part of the kernel of the theme. That's why I kept missing it. And I was just I don't know why this is taking forever to load up. And so I get it. Reducing the speed. And after all that is said and done, I think I reduced the speed by only a couple seconds. But that took me 3 days. So I can only imagine what a crack team of full-on developers were spending their time doing. Because it was likely very similar to that.
Oh man. Okay. In additional tech news, Micron has developed 176 layer solid state, which means that they are well on their way to 200 terabyte solid state drives at a fairly affordable price, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
My NAS is crying for the space. I just want
it is, isn't it? But that's that. Just think about that. Like, not only is that like 200 terabytes, that's the big buzzword number. But think about 10 terabyte solid state drives running really fast and being an M2 drive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. This sounds sexy as hell. I have two. I have two. What do I have? I think they're only 10. I think I only have two 10 terabytes. No, I might have two 5 terabytes. Anyway, I have on my NAS, I have a bunch of terabytes. And the reason why I'm having a hard time remembering is because I'm nowhere near close to filling that up. Like nowhere near close. But I'm just like, 200 terabytes sounds super sexy right now, because I definitely haven't put up my whole like DVD catalog and all that stuff like that, just because I'm like, I'm not going to watch these movies like anytime soon. I don't need to have Air Force One ready to go at any given moment. I just don't need it. Like, it's okay. It's understandable. I don't need to take up the space.
Wait, what?
But if I had that 200 terabytes...
Get off my plane.
Exactly. If I had the 200 terabytes, I'd have a Harrison Ford weekend and just like nonstop, all that bullshit all day.
Wait. I want a Harrison Ford weekend. It's not.
Let's do it. Let's have a Harrison Ford weekend.
We'll just drink and watch Harrison Ford movies.
We already have Four Smiths, which is where we watch all the Star Wars movies one day. We have
but that is only the original trilogy and episode 7.
It's
no prequels, because Harrison Ford's not. No, I'm saying for Harrison Ford.
Oh, for Harrison Ford Day.
Yeah, that's only 4 Star Wars movies that we get to watch.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that we would not do the Star Wars because we already have Four Smiths. So I mean, we would do non
Indiana Jones,
Harrison Ford days. So Indiana Jones would be the toss-up, because you could make an Indiana Jones Day, but there's only 3 movies that I would count as movies.
I was gonna say there's a 4th, but we don't want to talk about.
And the 5th one that is coming, I don't know if I'm gonna like have any high hopes for that. Harrison Ford, bless his soul, is old as shit, and I can't imagine him doing anything anymore. Like
this one is supposed to be what they were hoping that the 4th one would be, and then Shia LaBeouf went crazy, and nobody liked the alien plot. So that was like a huge misfire on that. But yeah, Harrison Ford weekend. Let's do it. Actually, let's literally watch. Let's watch single movie Harrison Ford movies.
There you go.
Get rid of all the trilogies and everything like that. As much as I love the Indiana Jones original trilogy, which is fan-fucking-tastic, we'll just watch.
Well, what about the Tom Clancy movies? Because those are kind of standalone, but they're all the same guy.
They're all the same guy. Now that's right up there with Indiana Jones. They're all standalone movies with the same guy.
Touché.
So we cannot do the Tom Clancy movies. Yeah, we can't do the Jack Ryan movies.
Okay.
Although
that's fine. I'm with it.
Although, if we do a Ben Affleck weekend, we can watch the one Jack Ryan movie that he did.
Reindeer Games? Isn't that Reindeer Games?
No, Reindeer Games is not. No, it actually was pretty good because it had shit. Oh my god, my brain just went out on me. Morgan Freeman played the other character opposite him that oh my god, my brain is not working. It's almost as if I worked all day. James Earl Jones. Yeah, James Earl Jones. It wasn't Clear and Present Danger. God damn it! What?
No, I'm going through the names. Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, Ranger Games was a different Ben Affleck movie that was not Jack Ryan.
The Sum of All Fears. Yeah.
Sum of All Fears. Thank you, Chris. Did you Google that?
Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, I Googled it too. Yeah, Ben Affleck as Jack Ryan, Morgan Freeman as William Cabot, Liev Schreiber as John Clark, and Bridget Monahan as Kathy Mueller. All right. So getting back to solid state drives on a completely separate but also related news set, because this is why the large M2 drives is huge. Silverstone is releasing a new ultra low profile M2 adapter. Which means it is an M2 adapter that can sit in a PCI Express slot on a server, like a 1U server system. It's so low profile that it can sit vertically in a 1U server rack and still have the M2 slot in there, which means that's a fuck ton of storage. And
that's kind of cool.
It's just as fast as all the other ones that are out there on the market, and it's low profile for a desktop PC. That is amazing, because then that is much reduced like blockage for airflow. Because in a lot of cases, they've now, like, you're getting a mid tower or, you know, a smaller case, and you've got your graphics card right here, and then you've got like one additional available PCI Express port that's right underneath it, and it will block the airflow. Like the one that I have, thankfully, is like a little bit shorter, so it doesn't fully block a lot of the airflow from my GPU, but it still will block a little bit. So this thing, being so fucking small, barely take up anything and barely like block out any airflow, which is awesome. But that's great for servers. Like I said, for 1U servers, you just fucking throw a blade straight in there, boom, it's all set to go, which is awesome. As people that have listened to this podcast know, we love talking about data center tech. So.
Too much.
Is.
All right, so we're gonna get back into actual video game information. Let's go with the not so sleeper hit, because we all knew this was gonna be a hit. Stray is out on PlayStation, and a modder for PC will put your cat in the game. All you have to do is get in line, send in pictures of your cat, and it will model your cat so that it can get modded into your copy of Stray.
My favorite mods of Stray so far are that one, because that's amazing, because I would love to do nothing more than to play as Kawaii, and sadly, as some of my dead cats, because I'd love to see them again.
Like how many, we could get some great pictures of Da Vinci and throw Da Vinci in there.
Da Vinci would be great. He would have kicked ass to that game in real life.
Oh, yeah.
That one, the one where you can put Garfield in as your cat. I thought that was fantastic. And then my all-time favorite, the one that almost made me buy this game again on PC just because I thought it was just so fucking genius, is that you can change the meow, which is just circle. You hit circle anytime and you meow on the PlayStation. You can mod that to play Jason from Heavy Rain. Jason! 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 It is fucking amazing.
I wasn't sure if you were going. I wasn't sure if you were going to that, or if you were going to go to the Doomslayer version of the cats, because there is a Doomslayer
was okay. That was alright. But the changing the meow to Jason from Heavy Rain was cracked me up.
So if you haven't played it, which I haven't played it yet, I'm going to upgrade my PlayStation Plus account to get to it. Everyone's playing it on Twitch. Yeah. And I have so many other things that I could be playing instead that I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to play it on Twitch. But then most of my gaming is on Twitch, and then unfortunately when I'm off that, I'm back into Genshin. But it's
it's one of the games I played, so we can talk about more of that later.
Yeah, but I still I want and need to play this game. Like
yes.
I'm just like, the only other problem is that then I'm gonna have to have my kid sit up here in the office with me and watch me play this game, because I know that he's gonna want to. But then that means that like all of my spare time that is normally like I get a little bit of alone time will be spent with the Rugrat talking my ear off. Which I love my son, but man, that kid can talk.
Talk to that guy. Talk to that guy. Can you jump over there? Jump over there. Can you talk to him? What does that say? What does that look like? What does that do?
You can read.
No.
Oh man. All right. Let's see here. Dark Passenger is developing a feudal Japanese game. Why do you care about that? Well, Dark Passenger is loaded down with a bunch of CD Projekt Red Windows Witcher 3 devs, which leads me to believe that that's going to be awesome. And I think I think it's going to be on Unreal 5, isn't it, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what.
The only reason why I'm not creaming my pants because it's just like Witcher developers. Feudal Japan, Unreal 5, it's just like everything's like lining up so good. But you know what was not like, I love Witcher 3. It was my game of the year, like whatever it came out like a billion years ago and stuff like that. And it's still one of those games. It's just like I'll still go back and play a little bit. Gwent, I own physical copies of it just because that game was so fucking amazing to me. Love Witcher 3. You know what wasn't the best part of Witcher 3? The combat. You know what this game's gonna have to be heavy on?
Combat.
So I'm just like, oh, all right, cool. Hopefully they learn something from it because everything else sounds so amazing with it.
Hopefully. I mean,
hopefully.
Yeah, there's so many other games that have raised the bar on combat, especially sword combat in Japanese games, that like they have a huge fucking hurdle to jump over. It's no longer hurdles, it's the high jump.
Even Trek to Yomi did a great job. And that was just like a 3-button like basic setup and stuff like that. That added on with Ghost of Tsushima, and it's just like, yeah, you have a lot to overcome here because like Tsushima is just such a fantastic, perfect game that you'd have to really make it better than that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. There is a new open world Black Panther game in the works. From EA.
Yeah, oh god.
Even more
Dear
don't
god.
care.
Like it's just like you've proven like the only people that have been able, in my opinion, to successfully make a Marvel game, like superhero game recently, has been Sony. Like Insomniac. They made a great title with both Miles Morales and Spider-Man.
They're making
Guardians of the
Logan.
Galaxy by Square Enix was a lot of fun.
But Insomniac's making the Wolverine game too.
I don't think that'll be fun. I just don't. Like Wolverine's not fun to play in games. He's just not fun to play in games, guys.
He'd have to be really fast, but Wolverine's not fast.
Even harking all the way back to like the original Cabinet. You know who's the worst character to play when you play on the
Wolverine.
5-6 player like
100%.
He's not
close combat.
Fun to play. He's just not a fun character to play. They can make it gory. They can make it fun. They can make like that whole thing fun.
What if they make a stealth game?
What's Wolverine's superpower? What's his power?
Healing.
Yes, he's fucking immortal.
So you can never die.
Yeah,
that better be the game. That better be the game. Is that you never die? You just end up getting knocked down, and more characters like keep piling into the room, and then like to the point to where you're just like, I can't do anything now. Like when Neo had like all of those agents on him, like just shit tons of Agent Smith, like that type of scenario for it. Except Wolverine can't fly, so. Yet. But it would be interesting. It would be more interesting if it was like a stealth combat type game.
It'd be interesting if it was more around him being, what was it, Project X? Is that what the original aspect of it? Of him, like, breaking out of the facility.
If they started there really cool. And just went on, that would be awesome.
That would be really cool. But trying to, like, get into, like, the X-Men and the whole thing, there's so much, like, backstory. Like, it'd be so easy to fuck up and be not fun. If you made it was just like, you're Wolverine, you don't know you're Wolverine, and you're all alone, that's what would make Logan stand out. And that's what Logan is. He's all alone. He's a gruff piece of shit person, honestly. And, like, that's what would make that game. If you're just like, no, I'm here with my buddies. Like, Scott and I hang out and have drinks all the time. Then fuck off. It's just like, no, this isn't the game that I wanted to play and sign up for and, whatever. But
how easy to fuck up, you ask? Well, just ask EA because they're going to do it to Black Panther.
They're going to do it. Yeah, they're going to put it in there and be like, summon your best friend Scott anytime. And you and Jean Grey can shake hands as friends. It's just like, fuck off this game.
Oh, God, if I don't get the opportunity to sucker punch Scott at a random moment at will, then that's bullshit. That's all I'm saying. Because Scott's a bitch. Let's be honest here. Scott
The
Stearns
absolute worst thing they can do. Yeah, the absolute worst thing they can do is do it during X-Men. Like that'd be the worst thing they can do, and that's what they're gonna do. That would be the worst. Second worst would be
I don't think
if
they are.
like if they did it after the movie style, where he's Logan, a little bit older and alone, and then that's kind of like the idea they're gonna go with it because they can have a little bit more story with it.
Doesn't look like they're doing that either. It looks like they're doing. It looks like they're doing the time frame of X-Men Origins Wolverine, when he's no longer Weapon X, but he's nowhere near the X-Men, because he's like they show that like old wilderness like logging bar and stuff like that, which is the area that he was in, which is a lot of good story stuff has come from that too.
That's what he goes to. He's a gruff Canadian. That's what he does. Yeah. He goes back to his logging bars whenever he gets depressed.
Anybody that thinks all Canadians are nice, remember Wolverine's Canadian.
Very Canadian.
Okay.
Anyway, I digress.
Yeah. Okay. John Romero is working on a new first-person shooter using Unreal Engine 5.
Could be pretty good, being as he's the co-founder of id Software and created Doom. And
thank you, Chris. Because I was waiting for him. I'm like, do we ask if chat needs us to explain who John Romero is?
What was the last thing that id Software made?
Well, because it is owned by Epic.
Now it is. What was the last thing that they made that they put their name on?
That's a good question.
Wasn't it Rage?
Was it Rage? Oh, it was Rage 2.
Yeah.
I think that would be it. Yeah. So
wait, did it do Rage 2 or did they just do Rage and then it got bought out by fucking who did?
Oh no, because there's ZeniMax now.
Bethesda.
Because they are ZeniMax, which means that they're still Bethesda.
Yeah.
Bethesda adjacent. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. This will tell me what the last game was. Or not. Maybe not. I don't know. But why does their Wikipedia suck? Their Wikipedia is horrible. John Carmack left there in 2013, so he was not part of that. So, when did the first Rage
come out?
The very first Rage game came out. Oh no, never mind. 2010. All right, everybody, get ready for Rage 3. Shit. Oh,
is Romero part of that though?
Yeah, he was, because he was still at id through all of it. Like he would have had to have been part of it, like because that was their big flagship game. You think they're not gonna put like big boys on the flagship game? Yeah, no,
they would. But I was wondering when he left.
It was 2013. I just saw it on the wiki. They actually have the wiki sucks for their games, but it's actually really good for longevity of game designers at it. There's like a bar graph and everything of how long people were there. So yeah,
just so you'd be like, we know.
Yeah, they were gone. The cooldown's up now, Dreams. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, because he started Romero games in 2015.
There is a new Steam game available on Steam that I think is a great concept and a really, really good idea. It's literally just called Refund Me If You Can. And they're they're trying to gamify and take advantage of social media, which is smart, to get you to beat the game in the refund window for Steam. And then they want you to share your times. They want you to like share screenshots and everything like that of you beating the game and then refunding it. Which is just, it's genius in my opinion. So
no, that's a good idea.
Head on out there. It's not expensive. It's like $15 if I remember right.
I remember there's a mobile game that did this. It was just like you can only die once. Like after you download it, like you can only
it's $4.
Only die one time. yeah, it was super cheap.
It's a $4 game. Yeah, that's worth $4. But yeah, it's like it's a great idea. I love it. I think it's awesome, and I can't wait for like more people to like try something like this as well. But yeah, I think it's a really, really good idea. All right. Okay,
one time thing. It's a one. I'm not a big fan of speedrunning in general, but like I don't like people being like, "Hey, try to do this," and then.
But you only get you only get one chance at the speedrun too.
Right, because it has to be done within 2 hours.
Yep.
But even still, like what I'm worried about is that someone be like, "Hey, do the same thing," But at the end, there's like some challenge. It's like it's gonna take an hour to do. Like it's impossible. It's just like, "Oh, you didn't do."
No, they have proved that they have proved that you can do it.
They have. I'm worried about the future. That's why I'm like, let's not do this.
Oh yeah. That.
They did it. Good job. Let's move on. Like nobody needs to release another game that's bullshit as well. Saying like, try to refund me too, and it's not possible because I just want to cash in on a cheap idea. Matter of fact, we should make a game, guys.
All right.
You guys want to make a game?
We're gonna do a steep dive out of video games,
Three
everybody.
Assholes. Starting
with hardware. All right. The new PSVR 2 headset UI has been shown off, and it actually looks pretty impressive for a VR set. So it does the external cams like everybody else does, but it actually allows you to set your movement, like you look around with the camera and you set your perimeter on there with the controllers so that it knows and can warn you better when you're going to go out of or when you're going to hit something. It also then does a half X-ray set, not where you like see the game. You can see like the architecture of the terrain in the game to figure out where you're at so that you can get better like depth and movement setup. And then it shows like just the regular gaming, which I think looks really good. It's interesting. I don't play enough VR games, unfortunately, to probably necessitate me buying a PSVR 2, but I do like that Sony moved into it because people still fucking love VR. I thought that it was going to die out with the PSVR and all that, but it has continued on. I don't think that there's enough games, in my opinion, to really warrant having it, even though I have a PSVR, but I got it for work. But beyond that, it's just... I'll see if extra games come out.
Fully agree. Every single PS VR game or VR game in that general has been fun. I've enjoyed some of them, like Beat Saber, amazing. Moss, we've talked about that.
Moss is amazing.
Very fun, very fun. The job and vacation simulators, I have always so much fun whenever I play them. But you know what's great about all those games is I play once or, in like 5-minute spurts. And it's not worth the setup and doing time to get that to make it work. Moss was the only one that I spent any amount of time in because it was like at least a story and it was very good. But outside of that, Beat Saber, like it's just like I don't care about these VR games anymore. It's just like
I've said it before with Moss that Moss is like it easily could have just been a title, a 3D adventure game. Like it could have very easily been that. The one cool thing about it was that it's like looking into a diorama. Like you can move around and see everything. And that was really good and it worked really well with the storytelling and everything on it. And it was groundbreaking with the way that they moved everything around in there. It was like working through giant moving dioramas, which was awesome. But at the same point, it wasn't anything different than what you get in a lot of other adventure games.
You looked straight the entire time. It's not like you had to like turn around or
what? No, you never looked straight. What? If you had a big open area, so we'll go back to Voss real quick. One of the great things about it was it was a stationary diorama. So if you had an open area that you could do, you could walk around the perimeter or through the perimeter, and you could look through, and it actually like was really cool to view. Like they did a really good job with that. But again, the core game itself was nothing that couldn't have been done in a 3D like platformer game.
Right.
It was just a good tech demo of what you can do with VR in general beyond that then. Which was good. They did a good job of adapting it. They could have fucked up the adaptation to VR. Like that could have been really bad, but they didn't. They did a really good job. I know Chris loved it.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. I've been on PC.
So much so that we bought it again. All right. Again, moving more and more out of video games, but kind of moving out of video games. Square's NFT is officially a thing, everybody. And the first thing that they're doing with it is fucking Final Fantasy VII.
Of course.
Right in the corner.
If you're gonna make any, like, they know what they're doing is just like, this is short-lived. This is not something that we actually want to invest in, but we're just gonna cash grab as much as we can. They've already purged a ton of their like licenses and stuff like that because they're obviously hurting because they can't make a good game to save their lives. And they're just
Dragon
like,
Quest
fuck,
11.
all right, well, since then, dude, like that was like
4
not
years
exactly
ago.
last year. Exactly. So I mean, it's just like they're purging money all over the place. Like you said, I even liked Guardians of the Galaxy a whole lot, but it had so many problems. It's just like, I get it. Like they need to make money, and this is such an obvious cash grab, and it's like the worst timing for them, and it just makes them look cheap, antiquated, and assholey all at the same time.
Well,
like,
it makes
like,
them really look assholey because of the fact of how much flack they got when their CEO like initially announced at the beginning of the year. How much additional flack they got halfway through that when he doubled down on his like interest in doing NFTs, and now they're just steamrolling it all in with one of the most beloved video games.
Yeah, they're going right for the gullet with nostalgia, being like, if you want to own this picture of Cloud, hey,
no, it's
do that.
It's such bullshit too. Like the fact that they're tying it in with figurines, but what is the guarantee that those NFTs are going to look any different than any of the other ones, other than having a serial number tied to them, which is bullshit.
And that it wouldn't even be that hard. Like you could easily make it. It was just like a single swing in retrograde of Cloud, like swinging his sword, had like what, 100 frames of movement, 60 frames of movement, whatever. Like you want to say, there's 100 right there, right? So it's just like you just do that for everything, and now you have like millions upon millions of NFTs that you can just pump on out for no other fucking reason than to make a quick buck and move on. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Like, say what you will about NFTs and crypto market. Like, I know there's like parts to this and all jazz like that, and we've dabbled and we've covered a lot of that in the past. But this is predatory, and it's pathetic. Like, it's not even predatory like good. Like, it's not like this is worse in my opinion than a person sliding open a van window or a van door being like, I got some candy in here. It's just like, no, hey, you remember the smell of candy? I'll give you this smell. Like that Rick and Morty episode where it's like that guy is just having the memory of having a good day, and they made that into cookies. That's what this is. This is the equivalent of that to me. It's just like, yeah, you're just a piece of shit. You're monetizing my memory of a good game and tarnishing that memory, and it pisses me off. It pisses me off like nothing else. So yeah, and forgive me, I'm super salty on it.
All right, moving on to very much not in video games. Netflix is now taking iOS users to their own pay portal, which is something that got allowed back. I think it was in March that Apple like relented to subscription-based services being able to do their own. I'm actually surprised that it took Netflix this long to do it. Given that they've been hemorrhaging money for a little while. But, like finally they're doing that because, I mean, that extra 30% that Netflix was being like forced to pay to Apple just for nothing that Apple was doing was honestly bullshit. We've talked about that. Same thing with Spotify, all other subscription-based services. You're not doing anything but allowing us the privilege of being on your platform, and then charging us 30% for it, which is just fucking ridiculous. And again, that's the biggest problem with their closed ecosystem. So, thankfully, Apple's kind of fixed that, but just only like a tad. They're still being fucking giant pieces of shit. So, who cares? Okay, last one. Jason doesn't, but also does want to talk about this. Nancy Pelosi's husband dumped his NVIDIA stock right before Congress was set to pass the Chips Plus deal, which was to bolster the semiconductor and chip manufacturing in the U.S., which this is real weird. So we're going to get into weird territory of whether or not you really should care about this. Because NVIDIA was set to actually do good off of this because they do manufacturing here in the States, not just overseas or anything like that. They actually have facilities where all these things happen. It is said that Pelosi sold 25,000 shares worth up to $5 million. But he supposedly took a bath of $341,000 in total on this. So, let's get into some mild minutia on this. That $341,000, tax write-off, doesn't fucking matter. He lost that money in the stock market. So, it doesn't really fucking matter whether he took a bath on it or not. And that's not even a bath. That's a very small percentage. Like, that is a minute percentage of money that he lost in comparison to the actual investment that he had. 2, that means that he bought it like possibly the worst possible time to actually purchase NVIDIA stock, unless he bought it like a long ass time ago, but I don't think that he did. He bought it like sometime like late last year is when he bought the stock on it. But the weird things is Pelosi's saying that he had absolutely zero input from her on any of these, and he didn't get any information from her, which is bullshit. 1. Yep. And 2, it is bringing to light in the forefront that other politicians are actually pushing that no politician and no spouse should be allowed to purchase stock in any company. And, fun fact, while Pelosi's husband is a venture capitalist, she was staunchly opposed to that until people got mad at her about it. And now it's like, oh no, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't own stock.
Politics aside, if this doesn't just make you be like, this is all just manipulation, like of the government in every way, shape, or form, then you don't know what's going on. And it's just like this, like I don't really want to go into any kind of the politics side of it.
Oh, do you want one little tidbit of information to go with that, Jason?
Go for it.
Nancy Pelosi is the 14th highest net worth. Her family is net worth in Congress. 14th. Do you know what their net worth is?
14. I'm gonna say 14 to 14. What?
$54.7 million. $54.7 million.
It does make me a little bit happier knowing that she has been outpaced by some asshole in Illinois that won $1.2 billion or 1.3, whatever it was. You know what? Okay, cool.
There's 13 people ahead of her. Yeah, like that makes you feel a little bit better about her. But then you're like, oh wait, there's 13 other members of Congress that are worth more than her.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
Worth more than $54.7 million. And she can say that, oh, that's her husband. But man, that's the whole reason as to why they shouldn't be investing in the stock market in the first place. And I'm glad that there are other people that are pushing for them not to be, because they shouldn't be manipulating the system. And you know that they fucking are, no matter how much they say that they aren't.
Oh, they're all bought. Mm-hmm. Like it does, like they're bought and sold like cigarettes in a prison, man. Like it's just it's ridiculous, and it's just so blatantly clear. Like it's like stuff like this. It's just like, no, come on, I don't talk to my husband. It's just like, if you talk to any married couple, I don't care if they hate each other, you know what the first thing they fucking do is tell each other everything. Like everything. It doesn't fucking matter. Like it's just like there's even like you have like guy law. You have like girl law, you have like bro codes and all stuff like that.
No, all that's gone when you're married. All that's gone when you're married.
And what's even crazier is that everyone understands that. Like I could go to Eric and be like, Eric, I gotta tell you something just between you and me, blah, 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 blah. I can tell him whatever I want, anything. And I know that Eric's the first thing he's gonna do is be like, yo, Shannon, guess what Jason told me. And I know this.
You want to hear some even though I'm just shit?
Like, even though I know I told Eric, like, Eric, just between you and me, I know, as an also married man, that the first fucking thing he's going to do is tell his wife. Just as Eric would probably assume that the first thing I'm going to do is tell Sarah when she gets home about it, whatever. And it's just like, yeah, you know what? He does have a weird dick. He told me today.
I do love Jason. I might wait 2 weeks. I might. That's a strong emphasis on the word might, that I might wait 2 weeks. But you know that I'm just going to be sitting there one night drinking an old fashioned and be like, oh man, you should hear this shit. Because
hear what I heard.
Shannon and I both work for the same company, and oh man, we know shit about other people in the company that neither of us really should. Because that's just how it happens.
Yeah,
like even if I didn't work for him, that's how it would happen.
And it's not bullshit. It's not like we're being dicks about it. It's just like, you know what? There's someone else in your life that is far more important. Like granted, like Eric, love you too, but yeah, my wife's much more important. And I would hope that I am just as important to you versus your wife. Like that's how it is. And Eric or Chris, we better be your bottom bitches 100%.
Yeah.
Like there's
you're not allowed to tell anybody.
100%.
You're 100% not allowed to tell anybody.
You're our vault, Chris. You're it. You're your end point.
You're where everything goes.
So if anyone's just being with Nancy Pelosi being like, no, I didn't talk to my husband about this, just like
never
bullshit. Like it's just like fuck off. Like how stupid do you think we are? It's just like, well, we keep voting these motherfuckers in the office, and all politics aside, I don't care anything about it. No one should be in any office for this long. Period.
At all.
And whatever. At all.
Yeah. Yep.
At all. And you know what? There needs to
Power
be like
corrupts.
a net worth too.
Power
I mean, shit.
corrupts.
Because if you've got like, no matter how much you say that it's like, oh no, I'm gonna just pass laws. You know, you're gonna fucking keep hold of your stock money. And if you know that you've got like $2 million in this one company, you're gonna make sure that company doesn't get fucked. Like, and we're not even talking about lobbying at that point.
Stupid.
Yeah, we're not even talking about the lobbying aspects. Like, you can get into lobbying and how much they fucking, like, impose their will, like, from companies with extra money and stuff like that. Like, you're not even talking about that. You're talking about you blatantly went out, bought stock, and are now looking out for your best interests over everything else. It's all bullshit. But anyways, fuck Nancy Pelosi. Fuck every one of our politicians for the most part, except for Greg Stanton.
Yeah, fuck every politician. Nah, even Greg.
I like Greg Stanton.
He's probably done some bullshit that we don't know yet.
Probably, but
Probably.
I still wish they would come back and be our governor. Hands down. Greg Stanton, I know you probably don't listen to this podcast, but please, just run for governor. What do you never listen to this podcast? Come back, Greg. We love you. We miss you. Arizona misses you. We need you. We don't need you over in D.C. Just come back.
Nah, he's still a politician. Fuck off. That's all I say. I want random asshole in.
But
in
random
Congress.
asshole is going to become a politician, and you're going to hate him too, and you're going to tell him to fuck off. That's the problem.
Of course. But random asshole every 4, 5, 6, any term limit. Let's just have that. How about let's start with one.
There has to be a term limit.
It has to be. That's just ridiculous.
And there should be.
Anyway, video game podcast. Let's move on from it.
Yep, video game podcast. We've done talking about our politics. What political games are we playing this week that we can actually talk about now?
I'm playing that French political game. What was that? The Revolution?
Oh God!
What was that fucking?
What was that game? Shit, I have it on Steam too. Actually,
I have it too. Yeah, it's. I have it on the Switch. It was garbage. I hated it, and played the shit out of it though.
Yeah. And liked it,
but whatever, doesn't matter.
Anyways,
get your politics out of my hands, pants.
I wish that I could. That's the problem. We're trying to, but we can't get them out. All right. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I have 4.
We'll end with you then, Chris.
Yeah. So I haven't played too much. I mean, I played some more Wilson because I fucking love that game.
It looks dope, man. It does look dope.
Yeah.
And Diablo is so hot right now.
Yeah.
Like, especially non-Blizzard Diablo.
Yes.
Yes. But there was indie direct by Annapurna Interactive, which is like an indie game publisher. So they had like a little direct this past week. So I was able to watch that. And one of the games has the demo out on Steam. So I tried that. It's called Thirsty Suitors.
Oh, wait, hand. So before, little indie company, they're the company that put out Stray.
Yes.
So
They're
let's
the
make
ones
sure that we
that
put that out. I was like, wait, I know that name.
Yeah. They're the publisher of Stray. But one of the games is called Thirsty Suitors. So it's like this skating, like, anti-dating game because it's all your exes, so you're kind of turn-based combat.
This game is weird looking.
Yeah. So you start out and you're on the bus home, whatever, and so you go in like this world to take a quiz for your thirst sona. So you're creating your thirst zone by like you grind these like rails, whatever, and get to a new area, and then you answer a question. And the whole time, like your inner monologue of your sister's like talking to you, and then in the demo you get to town, you go into this old cafe because you need to try to figure out who's gonna kind of take you home, pick you up, whatever. And there's a dog in there. You can pet the dog, so that's nice. And one of the things about
Automatic
petting the
9
dog
out
is,
of
like,
10 right there.
Yep.
is you actually have
plus.
to rotate the left analog stick while you're petting the dog, so you're actually like kind of rubbing it, and then it does like a little
Nice.
trick on the skateboard, and
Interactive
then
dog
you hit
petting.
and
Nice.
That's
high
like
five.
that's like +2 because you can
That
pet
is-
yeah.
dogs.
It's
That's
now
like-
11 out of
but
10.
interactive,
Interactive, and then you have
dog
to
petting?
do a quick time event for a high five with the dog.
Oh my god, there's a quick time event for high-fiving the dog.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Is this the game? Like, is this all the game is? Because that's all it really needs to be.
I mean, that's what it should be. But and then you run into one of your exes who's like, of course, super thirsty. He's like thirst level high.
Of course.
It was like your third grade boyfriend. And so then you,
Whoa. Hang on, the first ex you run into is your third grade boyfriend and he's still thirsty for you?
yeah.
That's some pretty aggressive thirst.
This is
man.
Yeah.
this is a person of color game too, right? You play as a
Yes.
as like a not Middle Eastern but Western Asia. I guess is the best term for it because you can't say
Yeah.
Indian because it's like Pakistani and all that stuff. So it's like a Western Asian like descent.
Yeah.
person.
And so then you go in like this basically JRPG style battle as you're just trying to insult or flirt with him and like taunt him and attack him. So I mean it's alright game. It's kind of enjoyable playthrough. It's definitely got those thirst. And then there's another game I can't really talk about yet because it's still under embargo.
Wait, I thought the embargo was up by podcast time.
I think streaming embargo is Wednesday.
Oh shit. Okay, so we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
You'll talk about it in 2
That good
weeks.
one.
Come back in 2 weeks to hear what Chris has been playing, or tune in this weekend to see him play the game. Probably. Although I don't know how much playing you're gonna get because Game On Expo's this weekend.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be working the Extra Life booth all day Saturday, Sunday. It's gonna be
Nice.
Friday.
Do you have stickers? Do we have stickers? I think I still have some stickers.
I have some stickers. I'll try and remember to bring
have
them with me
stickers.
when I go on Saturday to drop at the Extra Life booth. However, we do not have any updated stickers yet because we redid the logo and everything during COVID, and then we're like, we're not gonna fucking see anybody. Why spend money for stickers? And then
Right.
we just forgot to spend money for stickers later on.
Send me a link. We can get some more made. We got the stuff to do it. So
Yep.
give me a link. I can do it.
Word.
Company funds.
All right. Anything else, Chris?
No, that's a lot of Wilson.
All right.
Some
Well, if
Trump
you're in
Wilson on stream too.
And if you're in the Phoenix area, come to Game On Expo this weekend.
yes,
And you can meet your hero. You know what they say about meeting your heroes, right?
I'll never
Overrated.
forget. I'll never forget.
You'll want to forget. Man, I love that
smells.
fucking. I love that fucking story. Because I had to respond
Never
to the
forget.
Game On Expo guy because I had submitted in for press and like I hadn't heard anything back from them yet, so I just accepted free passes from Extra Life because we do a lot of work for them, and they're like, yeah, here you go. And he emailed me back over the weekend, and I had to like explain to him like, yeah, we normally do like a panel there, and we just didn't do one this year because we're idiots. But man, yeah, having someone that came actually to listen to the podcast instead of listening to our guest, and then say, "Oh no, we came for you guys." Like, oh God, how was it? And they're like, well, you know what they say when you meet your heroes, right? It's the worst fucking thing ever.
No, she just said, you know what they say about meeting your heroes? And I was like, oh, damn.
Oh, okay. Damn.
And that's it. That was the end of it. That was the end of the conversation. I was just like, fuck.
They chuckled, and then they walked off. We're like, thanks, have a good one. That also was the same panel that I had to do the disclaimer to the family that was sitting in there that came to watch us as well. And we're like, this probably isn't the best thing to talk about or to like have your kids here for. They're like, it will be fine. Then we said cunt like 20 times in 5 minutes. And about 10 minutes in, they got up and they walked out. We're like, have a good one.
We warned you.
Mo made it her mission to get them to walk out. Oh, yeah. Like, I don't even think they made it to her playing
Peach Ball?
Yeah, Senran Kagura Peach Ball. Yeah. I don't think that they even got to watching her play Peach Ball for 30 plus minutes. It ended up being that we were but it ended up being us interviewing her producer more than anything. And then she's like, how long have I been playing this game? Like, well, we're like 40 minutes into the panel right now. She's like, shit.
It's a fun game.
It actually is. It's a really fun game. But anyways, okay. So I've been playing a ton of Genshin again because the addiction is real. And no matter how much you go to meetings, that addiction's going to grab you and pull you back in. 2.8 is in full swing. They have all the summer stuff again. You get to go back to the Archipelago. You get to do all sorts of stuff, which this fucking story is like, it is like sad and hits you in the feels. Like 75% of the time that they've got going with it. You delve into Kazuha's backstory of like, which we already know like chunks of his, about the downfall of his family. You then get into Xinyan's backstory, where she was the outcast of her village, but just didn't give a fuck. She was like that happy-go-lucky girl that you still see now, and she's like, that's all right. You may not like my music, and that's cool. I'm gonna go over here with it. You have fun with your life. And you're just like, fuck, that's so sad. And then you get into Fischl, who is completely delusional, as we've all like known for a while, but then you get into like how delusional she actually is with her family, and like how conflicted she is as far as like negative talk to herself and everything. And then even Mona, who at one point like ruined somebody's life with her fortune telling. So it's really dark and rich. Some people are complaining about Genshin having a lore problem to where it's disappearing lore, and I look at it more of like, you kind of get some of the stuff, like a lot of the things that you have, like you can pick up on it in pieces here and there. They just really spell it out for you in this, even though this is going to be only here for the summer and then it's gone. I don't have a problem with it being there, and I like having specific things that are there and only there for short amounts of time. I think that it's really good for people that are continually on it. And if you look at the game and you're like, there's too much story, I can't get into it, I feel like I'm so far behind. My fucking 10-year-old picked it up, for Pete's sake, fairly recently. If he can do it, you can do it. Stop bitching about it and making excuses, everybody. That's all I got to say. We have now officially hit the stream wall for Kill. I am not allowed to stream it anymore. They have a hard notification that you are not allowed to go past a certain point in the story. So we won't be streaming it, I don't think, anymore. Unless I have one more chapter. I have to double check it just to make sure. But there is a point where they're like you cannot stream past this chapter. So I've been playing that
We might
again.
have one more chapter, maybe.
I think we might. I'll have to double check it, and I might be able to play it like this coming Wednesday. But that's about it. Then after that, then sorry everybody, you're gonna have to find some asshole on YouTube that puts it out there. I'm not gonna go against what NIS wants because NIS does us really good and gives us games. We love most of the games that they have because they do a really good job. But that's beside the point. But Kill cementing itself as a great game. It's really weird. It's really fucking out there. The story is going all over the place, but I really love like the twists and turns that they're doing with it. And man, the top-down shooter is tough. I want to just I keep wanting to go in.
You just suck at top-down shooters, man.
No. It's tough. Like I haven't actually like. I think I've only lost like once, and that was because I fucked up on the questions and I didn't have as many lives. And then I literally I went through 17 lives because I missed out and I didn't get the full 20. And then when I did the second playthrough, I only lost one life. So it's more like figuring out patterns and stuff like that. Great game, highly recommend it if you have if you're able to pick it up on PC, on Switch, on PlayStation 4 or 5. I've been playing it on PS5. It runs really well. Highly recommend picking it up. And then the last game that I played was a game that we pre-purchased. So normally we say no pre-orders. However, because Devolver was like so good at selling this in their 2021 not E3 setup, I did purchase Demon Throttle, which is a physical release only game. They will never release it digitally, which is awesome. They also only made 10,000 copies. I have copy 1,082 out of 10,000. They numbered each one of the cases. And in something that no one has seen in a very, very long time, there's a physical manual for the game.
Damn.
Is it a color manual?
Yes.
Is it a color manual?
It is a color.
Phenomenal.
It is a full color manual as well. Like, it is awesome.
Phenomenal.
However, at this point, it costs the same amount of money to print digital color as it does to print black and white. So if you're only printing in black and white, you're a fucking asshole. But that's beside the point. But this game is a top-down shooter, but it's a moving screen shooter, and you just kind of like move your characters and they walk around. You play as two different characters: a gunslinging cowboy who a demon kissed his wife. Or something. I'm pretty sure that it wasn't kissing.
Or something.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't kissing.
Sensual moaning.
Yeah, sensual moaning is what they show on there. As well as a vampire that the demon stole her chalices. So it's two people form a bond. They go out and they try to kill demons. It's hard as fuck to play single player. I played it for about an hour or so on stream, got my ass handed to me. I was able to beat one of the like mini bosses that are in the side areas, which I think you could actually factor in as a boss because you could go through the entire level without fighting it. So I was able to continually beat that one, but man, the last boss on the first main level was hard. This game is designed to be couch co-op. Like it's very much designed to be that way because they have it set to where you're doing couch co-op and like you play and it's only couch, it's not online. But if you don't do couch co-op, you can switch between the characters, but each character only progresses on their own experience. Whereas if you're playing the game, you have like one person cover one side of the screen, one person cover the other, and you can continue to progress and level up your characters, which is kind of cool that they actually have like a level up system rather than just the get upgrades to your weapons and stuff like that. It boosts their stats, their HP, the amount of grenades that they can hold, things like that, which is really cool. But it's a fun game to play. I really need to play it with somebody else. And my 10-year-old is definitely not that person.
Yeah, we should definitely do a co-op stream, something like that.
We definitely need to. Like Jason, come over, we do a co-op stream, we have a little fun, it'll be great. So that Jason and I can punch each other in the face when we get angry at each other for sucking ass in this game.
It's been a while.
Or when Kara then Venmos you money.
Yeah,
Punch
or when
Yeah,
Cara
yeah,
Venmos
or
me money,
too.
then I just punch Jason in the face randomly, and it'll be fine. I got $40 is $40. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, we're both gonna have black eyes. It'll be fantastic.
And we each make
Is
$40,
everything
right?
okay at home?
It's two
Yeah,
for
no, I
one,
was just hanging
two
out
for
with my
one.
buddy.
Yeah.
No, nobody asks that question if you're a dude. They only ask that. They only
That's
ask that if you have a wife that routinely gets jumped on by 70 and 90-pound dogs all the time, like me. All right, Jason.
Or falls down the stairs.
She doesn't fall down the stairs. Chris, do we need to talk?
Fall into a
What-
doorknob.
or-
Yeah,
Oh no,
Doorknob,
when
or something
she
like-
fell
no.
doing her workout. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. That's
When
what
she
it
was
That's
using
what I was-
when she
yeah.
was using a step and misstepped on like the step thing and face planted into the tile. The one saving grace into that is that I was on a work Zoom when she came into the office, like going like this to make sure no blood fell down on the carpet, and her mouth is just exploded. Okay, Jason, your turn. Let's talk about Jason's
right.
games and not my wife's exploded lip.
After spousal abuse, we have me playing games, which is great. For the last 2 weeks,
Isn't that
I used
basically
my
the same
time-
thing?
Pretty much. I mean, Jason, come hang out with me. Nah, I'm playing
No.
games.
You know you married.
Yeah, you know what you did.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of my time over the last 2 weeks getting back into my backlog. Obviously, 2 weeks ago, I finally beat Horizon Forbidden West. Liked it a whole lot. Listen last episode to find out how much I liked it and all that good stuff like that. Well, after beating a huge game like that, you usually have like kind of like reading a good book. You have a game hole where you're just like, oh, I feel like there's like something missing to me. I don't want to jump into another epic battle thing. I don't want to do another like super heavy story or anything like that. I just want to play some games. So I took this opportunity to play some of my backlog. First and foremost, what I played right away is Demon's Souls, the remake for the PS5. I remember playing this back on the PS3 and being absolutely frustrated. Obviously started off my entire obsession with these Souls types games, and I liked them a whole lot. But I remember Demon's Souls always kind of being like the one that was just like kind of got away, where it's just like I never beat it, never went through it all or did anything like that. Didn't really understand. It was the first one. Like
you never
nobody
went back
understood.
to it after you played some of the other ones?
No, because by the time I finally went on and like played into like really getting into Dark Souls and stuff like that was on the PS4, and I was just like, I didn't really like. It was like I don't want to play a serious game back on my PS3 like that, so I just never really did it. I just never did. I just was like I would put too much going on. Like I buy a lot of games. Let's just call it what it is. I buy and play a lot of games. Period. And so finally going back and
Spade
doing
is
it
a
on the
spade.
PS5. Yeah, spade is a spade.
Mhm.
Going back and playing on the PS5, I will say this: it is gorgeous. Like, no wonder why they use it as kind of like their flagship. It is fantastically gorgeous, man. Like even like the little bit of memory that I have about the game, I was just like, holy shit, this looks like a completely new game. Like I was just like, I don't even remember this area. And I was just like, this is the beginning area. I don't even remember it because it looks so different. It looks so amazing. Like they did a great job remaking the game. Now what sucks is that like between this and the Final Fantasy VII remake, I'm just like, this is how you fucking remake a game. Anyone else is just like a remake game, and it's not just like completely redone. Like 100%.
Shadow of the
I'm just like,
Colossus,
fuck off.
their remake was really good too.
Disagree, not to the level of this one.
Well,
And
because there was
like,
only
it
so much
good.
that they could do. I mean,
It
they
was good.
without adding
Fuck,
too much
this
shit.
was a PS3 game too. This is a
No,
PS3 game
but I'm
too.
talking about Shadow of the Colossus. Like there was only so much they could do without adding things to the game that weren't there originally. Like, Shadow of the Colossus was very minimal. There's Colossus, you, geckos.
Still gorgeous. Yeah,
It looked
and
gorgeous.
The trees, and your horse.
Yeah, that's it. Like there wasn't much in there. Like it was just a beautiful game when they remade it. But
Anyway, Demon's Souls. Sorry, if you're a purist, you get really mad when you hear that. Is
Fuck purists.
fantastic. It's fun still. If you've had a hard time, actually let me put it this way: if you really liked Elden Rings, you're just like, man, I'd really like to get into it. And then obviously the first one you're gonna pick up is Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls 3 will punch you in the face immediately, and you're just like, fuck, this isn't what I wanted. I actually would recommend going back to Demon's Souls to play that one after Elden Rings because it's so much easier than what it was back then. Like I had zero problems beating Demon's Souls right now than I did like back in the PS3. Like I was just like, this is cake. Like what the fuck? There's actually like 2 or 3 bosses that are just like quick time events and like moving through stuff that at the time were tough. It was just like you had to think and like look at it. It wasn't just like button prompts. But it was just like nowadays it's just like this was like I didn't even die on this boss. Which if you were just like, yeah, I never died on a Souls game boss, it's just like, Jesus, what are you, a god? And it was just like, no, I'm in Souls. So
wait. So you're saying, Jason, that you eventually got good.
Well, yeah, I guess I eventually did get good. By default, I did eventually get good. And I enjoyed it. It was pretty. I mean, they changed nothing in the storyline. They changed nothing with the equipment, which were all very lacking back then. But like even more so, it felt like I used one sword. I used one sword the entire game because you could. That was the point. It was just like you are just doing this. And so I mean,
I like that idea
super
though.
Long.
That's more like if you were an adventurer. Like an adventurer is not going to be able to utilize like or be a master of every sword.
Every sword, yeah. I mean, well, that's Demon Souls in general. I mean, when you find a new sword, it's not just going to be immediately fantastic in your hands. Even if you're a level 100, if you find a level 1 sword and everything's level 1 when you find it, well, it's shitty. Like you're not going to be good at it right away. But I mean, this one even more so. Like I never had to change anything, which was fine because it all came down to how you play. And magic is huge in this one. Like it always has been, but it's even more so. It felt like this time, and it was fun. It was well worth it. Glad it was a good backlog fill. Enjoyed my time with it. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 experience. And I boosted it up a little bit for the graphics because it really was just fucking pretty. It was just super fucking pretty. There was just no way around it. Period. I mean, even down to like when you cast magic, watching the foliage around you like shiver and stuff like that. Just really cool little details that they put in there. Next up on my journey of backlogs was Inside, which was from the developers and makers of Limbo. If you ever remember that game,
oh
it was another side-scrolling, like go to the right to the game, platforming puzzle adventure. They knocked it out of the park again as far as puzzling adventures go. This one had way more. It was way more fucked up than I was anticipating. And Eric, you should play it just because there's a point where you're just like, wow, okay, yeah, I remember someone saying this was pretty fucked up. But then you get to the part that's really fucked up and you're just like, holy fuck, this is fucked up. Like it's well worth it just for that experience right there. Because I like, this isn't a new game by any way, shapes, or form. So I knew there was questionable parts in this. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Did you play this on the PlayStation or what?
I played it on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass now.
Oh, sweet.
So
see, there we go.
Like, yeah, go play it, dude. Go play it. It's 4 hours. 4 hours max if you're like absolute dog shit platform.
It's a good stream.
You can beat this game in 4 hours. Yeah, and you're gonna get to the part. I promise you, Eric. You're just gonna be like, whatever. That's probably what Jason's talking about. I'm too woke. That's not that big of a deal. And then you're gonna get to the part and you're just like, oh shit.
I don't know. You never played What Happened. And you should play What Happened. That is on our shared Steam, and that game gets fucked up.
It gets pretty gnarly.
But that's a game all about psychedelics, suicide, self-mutilation, like the whole gamut. Like it's fucked up. But anyways,
I like it's not comparable. I'm not gonna even pretend that, but it's definitely not. I'm not shying away from the like. Yeah, I think it's a little bit more than you anticipate. Yeah, exactly. So, with that alone, it's well worth the play, guys. Like, I know this is an older game, and even though I'm trying not to like spoil it or anything like that, but it sounds stupid. I'm still not going to because it's well worth it. If you haven't played it, play Inside. It's on Game Pass now. Go check it out.
I'm fine with you not spoiling a 4-hour game because it's a 4-hour game.
It's 4 hours,
and it's included in Game Pass. Just pick it up and play it.
Just pick it up and play it. I mean, you've sat through Infinity War like 8 times. You can watch this. You can play this game.
Yeah.
I would still only give it a 7.5 out of 10. Limbo to me was just so groundbreaking that I had high expectations. And Inside, while fantastic, the overall feel towards the end, and this may be on purpose, I was just like, meh. And for a single time game, I was just like, I just can't get behind it as much. So we'll give that a little bit less. Lastly, on my backlog pickup that I've been holding on to is Planet Coaster, which if you've ever done Roller Coaster Tycoon or anything like that, Planet Coaster is another game just like that, but it's far more in depth in the degree of what you can do with this. I've been putting off playing this forever, but after playing Jurassic World, I was just like, I need another strategy game, or not strategy, management game to play. And I've had this one forever, so I was just like, I'll load it up. I regret not playing this earlier. There's so much more to this game than what I think that I was prepared for. Not just for what the game actually brings to you, because there's a shit ton that you can do that is a lot of fun, and like the customization that is upon you is almost limitless, just in vanilla. But the amount of stuff that's out there from character create or from user created just blows my mind. There is someone that has made a 1-for-1 copy of Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland, like 1-for-1.
No
like,
way.
Hands down. Not even joking. Like the amount of time and effort that would have gone into this, because you can even download the music, you can download the audio, you put it all in there, and you can ride the fucking ride, man. It is
awesome.
Insane the amount of work that people have done this. Someone did a full-on Tron experience, and I should have written down these usernames so I could have given them a proper shout out, because they're just amazing, where they made a 9-minute ride, 9 minutes of you riding through the entire Tron saga, both movies in essence. And they did like it all in a ride format. It's just like, Jesus Christ. If like Disney even had like an iota of a thought of anything they could make, these things, they did it. And it's like technically not with anything more than what Disney has access to. It's not like there's some magical or fairy aspects to this. Everything is very much rooted in like, do you have the real world opportunity to make this happen? And they did it all. And it just blows my mind. So
this was on the PS5 that you played it, right? Because wasn't this a free game on PS5?
It was a free game on PS5, okay, and that's where I was just like, I have this forever. But I play this on the PC, hence why I have access to.
Because that's funny that you say that you played it, because I actually thought about, I was going through my backlog of games on the PlayStation. And I'm like, yeah, what can we play after we play Demon Throttle? And that was one of the games I'm like, maybe we could play that.
It's fun. I mean, even the story, like, or the career, it has enough of a challenge without being annoying or anything like that, and it shows you the ropes of the game, and it's fun. I mean, the sheer amount of creation. I am not a very creative person. I am like art, like debilitated. I don't do creativity very well. That's why I never really got big into Minecraft, because just like, if you need me to make a house, I will make you a 4x4 room with a roof on it. You're welcome. But it's just like but with this, it's just like, it kind of forces you, and it's just like, hey, you got to put something on this, and you're just like, all right, I'll take this like little skull and I'll put it over here. Oh, you need to light it up. Oh, I'll take this light and I'll put it right here. Oh, you got to put like a roof on it. No, I'll take this and put it over there. And I find myself spending like 2 hours making a little like a coffee stand out of bullshit that I have in my inventory. And it's just like, wow, that went by super fast, and now I can charge $3 for this latte, and nothing has changed. And it's just like, it's nuts. It's a fun game to just waste your time in. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. So that was my backlog fun extravaganza. Outside of that, though, this game that I've been waiting on since I saw it at E3 5-6 years ago, whatever, when it first was announced, was Stray. I was so excited for Stray. It was gorgeous when I saw it, and you know what? It was gorgeous when I played it just right now. Stray is definitely another, just like, hey, it's an environmental platform puzzle type game where you're just exploring around and finding all the different ways you can interact with the environment and find your way in your path forward. And there's extra stuff that you can do if you want to do more stuff for the characters in the environment that you interact with. Otherwise, you can move right through it. You can beat the game in less than 2 hours, but if you fully explore it, it'd probably take you closer to 8. I was on the latter side because I wanted to explore and do everything I possibly could as this cat. Cat's freaking adorable. The meows are amazing. There's more than enough times. Like, one of my favorite things, I wish they like called out more, is you find all the nap spots. You find spots in game where you take a nap as the cat, and it'll then do a very slow pan out of the environment while you're sleeping as the cat. And these pan outs are gorgeous. Like it's of whatever post-apocalyptic robot world that you're in right now that you're taking a nap on, whether it be on a random precipice over a sewer or on a robot's chest. It doesn't matter. It'll slowly pan out and it'll just give you like a very cool little picture. Like there's I think I can count the amount of times I've taken a screenshot on my PlayStation on both of my hands. And this game has easily filled up at least 5 of them because I was just like, these are fun. These is gorgeous. It's a great experience. Not only that, but when you're napping, the purr sounds come out of your controller. So you're just nuzzling up to your controller, being like, keepers. Very fun. It's great exploration. The game still is very gorgeous. The puzzles are engaging. The soundtrack is freaking amazing. Like I'm gonna buy this on physical for sure because it's just a great soundtrack of everything that they have, from the stupid radio tunes all the way to the actual game soundtrack is fantastic. The enemy sequences are rapid and quick, and it's weird enough, but it's not the overlaying storyline. Like they did such a great job of pacing of in between of like puzzle to adventure to trouble back to puzzle without it feeling like that there was a trope. There was never a time I was just like, oh, this is the type of game it's going to become now. They did a great job of segmenting this out and being like, no, you're on an adventure of a cat. This isn't a battle cat. This isn't an escape game. This is a fucking cat. You're not gonna become.
He's just like looking for a goddamn mouse and maybe a can of tuna.
He just wanted to get the fuck out. He just wants to get the fuck out, and that's all it was. The characters are relatable. Your companion B12 is fun and great to interact with, and there's a lot of heart here. No English dialogue whatsoever, and it's all via text and stuff like that. And I had more storyline and heart than some major AAA titles. So, I mean, it was fun. It's well worth it. Obviously, if you haven't upgraded to one of the PlayStation Plus experiences that are higher than the normal, it's well worth it just for that. If you are going to buy it, it's a $30 game. Just based on that alone, it is a 9.5 out of 10 for me, and easily contender of Game of the Year. Like, it is fun. I laughed. I teared up. I was having like a blast. I have never sat there doing nothing, looking at a game longer than I did at this game. Like just looking at it, like just sitting there watching my cat sleep, looking at this like fishing spot that a dead robot's sitting at.
That's why it took Jason 8 hours to beat it. He watched the cat sleep.
100%. I was watching the cat sleep. And you know, the meows that you're doing all the time. My animals loved it. My dog was sitting there on the couch with me. The cat then came down hearing all the meows because I'm meowing constantly because why the fuck wouldn't you? And she would jump up on the couch and like sit on my shoulder just watching this game.
Reasons why I can't play this game with the door open, because my dog is an asshole.
Oh yeah, they'll jump at it for sure.
He will be jumping at this fucking TV constantly.
At the very beginning, you're running around with your cat family and stuff like that. So there's like 4 or 5 cats all meowing at each other and running around the screen. And Ebby was up in the screen, like, I was like, no, you're fine. You're fine. So super fun. Like for what it is, for what it's worth, I'm so glad. I was so nervous that there was going to be so much hype behind this game that it was just going to be dog shit.
A flop.
And unfortunately, I was just like, I was super worried about it, but it wasn't. It was well worth it. I enjoyed my entire experience for it. Go get it. Go play it.
9.5 out of 10. I mean, damn.
9.5 out of 10. Yeah. You can't go wrong. It's just
that's a good
fun.
Score. All right.
My only complaint would be I wish the cat looked better. And that sounds so stupid because you're looking at it most of the time and whatever. But like, there's a few times where you watch it meow. I wish they would have done better with the meow. Because I mean, like honestly, when it meows, it's seriously just like a Pac-Man meow. It's just like meow. Meow. Like it's just like it's like full on, no matter the size of the meow. Because there's multiple different meows you can do, and this is great podcasting to be like complaining about meow size of a cat. I love it so much. I'm not being lost on this, but like it's just like full like Pac-Man mouth every single meow, and it just kind of just irked me a little bit because obviously I want to look at the cat. Look at the cat. Playing a cat is fun, so that's why I docked it a little bit. Just because everything else, the world was so beautiful, but the cat just was missing for me.
Yeah, that's all right. You gotta knock something off. I mean, there's no such thing as perfect.
Exactly.
Game, unfortunately. So, all right. Well, there we go. We're done. We've gone over 2 hours as usual, but we're at like 2 hours for the actual podcast recording. But thank you everybody for joining us for the IBIF podcast. We understand that you have many choices in podcasts that you could watch, or just in general what you could be watching on Twitch. And apparently you made the wrong one, but we love you anyways. Thanks a lot. This is the IBIF podcast, which is our video game podcast where we talk about video games and tech and all sorts of other shit, nerd culture in general, as we talked about, and sometimes we get a little political. But we also have Cutscene, which is our anime watch-along podcast, where we are currently watching Kotaro Lives Alone. And we're finishing that one up, and that one is a sad fucking anime. Thank you, Chris, for bringing that one on. We do also have patch notes where we talk with developers for video games. Everybody wants to talk about the games that they're developing. We want to talk with them and about them as they are. So we talk about them. We get their thoughts on, whether hot dog's a sandwich, whether cheesecake's a cake, and, their thoughts on cream pies, cheesecake, which has come up. And not in the dessert kind of way, I think. But anyways, thank you, everybody. You can find us on twitch.tv/IBIF1st, where we regularly stream throughout the week. I regularly stream. Chris streams when he has time, and Jason streams literally almost never. But that's beside the point. You can find us there where we stream all sorts of stuff. You can also find us and join our Discord by going to discord.ibitafirst.com or ibitafirst.com/discord. Or if you're ever on Twitch, just do !Discord, and you can get onto the Discord as well, where we just have random shenanigans going on. We also have the first charity Throne account. We do lots of things with Extra Life, but we have been able to get Throne to work with us to create a Throne account with very minimal fees that goes into it. Everything is at cost to them, and they ship everything directly to Phoenix Children's Hospital, which is our choice of hospitals when we do Extra Life. We also do our Extra Life funds, which we will be doing our Extra Life game day. We are also possibly working on a one-shot with Bulldog during Extra Life's tabletop weekend as well, to stream that as well and do some D&D and get some extra money. But Chris came up with some great stats that we had just the other day, that as a team, we are only $268 away from what we hit in total last year, and we're only $971 away from our goal, which, full disclosure, will go up as soon as we hit that goal. But that's beside the point. We want to raise as much money as we can for the kids. So make sure that you come in. If you have any discretionary funds and you've got a charity or you don't have a charity to put it to, give it to Extra Life. 100% of the proceeds goes directly to the hospitals, and it all goes directly to the kids, either for treatments or for things that they need in order to make their stay more enjoyable. But thanks a lot, everybody. Stick with us after we do our exercises, because we are going to be rating out. But we cannot end any podcast without Chris saying bye-bye.
Wow, little in and out on that one.
It was in and out and sounded like it was in a tin can. All right, Jason, you have all the exercises.
I have 20 each, don't I? Yeah.
No, I don't think you have 20 each. Oh, wait, maybe you do. Let's see here. 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 squats. 10 squats. No, that's it. 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 squats.
10
no,
push-ups, 10 squats.
10 push-ups.
10 push-ups.
10, and then...
Like dreams.
Well, no. It's 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 squats, okay? Then, then you did the dream one, and then, so 20 squats, and then 10.
So
20 squats, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups.
All right.
Because dreams, after you tried to make dreams do push-ups, gave you more squats.
Yeah, but I should do my push-ups that I bought. That's what I'm saying. I'll do the 20.
Oh, you can do the push-ups if you want to as well. Yeah.
Well, she's not gonna. They can't do.
She's
them,
not. No, she already said she's not doing them. It's not her point redemption, so she's not doing them.
Well, it's, points were still redeemed. So, all right, I'll do the 20. 3. You guys can join in if you want.
I have to go to the bathroom so bad that I am not joining in. Like I normally I would, but I'm like I really got to go to the bathroom, and if I do that, that is not gonna be good.
No.
I'm just sticking it out through this so that we can get everything set for the raid. All right. I was thinking of that we need to raid into Spooky just because Spooky is leaving for deployment this week, but we'll have plenty of time to play games and or raid into her as well. So we're gonna raid into somebody else. We're gonna raid into the Gloomy Squirrely, who is playing Labyrinthine, which is a game that I played with Bulldog, Nevi, and Twisted, who raided into us. Thank you again, Twisted, for the raid.
Yes.
So we're gonna raid into them because they're doing the new update, which they did a huge update on the game. It was like a 2.1 gig update. It was massive. Lots of stuff that they added into it as well. So I want to make sure that we get it to them while we wait for Jason to finish his exercises. He's almost there.
Ebby joins in.
Yeah, Ebby's joining in. Yeah, join in, Ebby. Do it. Oh my god, that's so fucking cute. She's dipping down. What now? Now what is she doing? She's just scratching. I think she's just scratching herself now. Yeah, she's just scratching herself.
Yeah, that was enough for me.
It's like I've done enough push-ups, Dad. Was Ebby doing push-ups with you, Jason?
Yeah, she like bent down and did like her stretch.
Yeah, that's what we were like. We're like, Ebby's doing push-ups. That's great. All right, so we're gonna raid into the Gloomy Squirrely. Thank you everybody for joining us. We hope you guys had fun with us as well, and we will see you guys later on this week for more streaming. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Staring at the same wall, waiting for the phone call, telling me it's wrong. 'Cause if the words said really came from your head, really meant to make sense, why do I feel numb? Is it the cold wind getting under my skin, leaving me decided when mistakes were made? Is it the high tide pushing back on my pride? Wish we read the sign right instead of
Well, even if we weren't, I was taking